Alright guys, I decided that we're going to go ahead and start. I'll label this the wine bottle video. And that way you'll know, like if you're not interested in watching the wine bottle, then you don't have to. So anyways, yeah, I figured that would probably be good. Okay, so we're to this stage now where the paint's pretty well dry. All the stuff I put on it's pretty well dry. And so it's very similar to decorating a journal. As far as, you know, we're gonna just start creating. I have no idea how, I mean, I have some idea of the things I'm using, right? So what I'm gonna do is okay, so sometimes this works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you need to snip. And I believe that I got this at Walmart as well, in like the full floral aisle. Okay, so same thing here. I'm just gonna kind of start creating. You're just gonna come along with me to do this. I'm just gonna kind of lay down a little bit. And again, I'm not going to worry a whole lot about the strings because I will get rid of those with a blow dryer. And I use the blow dryer. I don't use my heat tool because the heat tool almost heats too much. So I'm just going to start laying this down a little bit. Okay. I hope the camera is like not right in your eyeball, but it's going to be one of those projects I got to be able to move the bottle around, obviously. So, and I'm just going to kind of pull as I go. And the whole bottle's not going to be covered in this. It's just for attraction's sake. And I haven't decided how dramatic this one's going to be. As far as oh, I should tell you too, I'm not using the E6000 right now because when we start layering, I just want this to stick down. I don't need it to be a permanent hold per se. And fair warning, you will probably burn yourself a little bit. Like I said, I don't need it to be completely, you'll see. I don't know how much talking I can do while I'm doing this either, since I've never filmed a video on making a wine bottle. We're just gonna kind of create as we go. All right, I'm going to leave the bottom because now I'm going to kind of decide where I want this, and I don't want it hanging down that far, so we're going to kind of go up. And this too will probably be a few video series. I'm going to have to go get better scissors, I think. But we'll just see how it goes. I've had quite a bit of interest in the wine bottle making, so well, if you guys really love them, then occasionally I'll make a couple of videos with it. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and just trim off just down to the bottom. Because I think we're going to cut most of that off. I'm not sure. Or we might go from the bottom up again. I'm not really sure for sure. So I'm just going to go and trim that off so it's out of our way. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the top layer on, and I decided to use the jute. So I usually attach it neck side up. A little bit of hot glue. And then I have done it both ways. If you're not using, well, if it's regular paint and there's no Mod Podge on it, you could probably get away with doing just hot glue. But I like the aliens on here, so I'm just going to do this. And I'm only going up to the top, like the first ridge of the bottle. And this part isn't going to matter because remember, aliens dry is clear. Sorry, my throat's still a little goobery today. So I'm just going to give that a healthy coat like that. And then I'm just going to start wrapping around the bottle. And then when I come to the next side, just go up just a little bit. I know you guys have seen this in probably 1,000 DIYs. So, but that's pretty much how I do it. Oh, I don't know if I'm staying in film or not. And then I don't worry about excess glue, at least not right now. And I'll show you why in a minute, as soon as I get this wrapped. And it literally, sorry guys, I reached across there to get my screen to stay awake because those of you that load videos know exactly what I'm talking about. If your device goes to sleep, then you have to basically start all over. So I usually load everything on my phone and I have the screen turned off. And yeah, but I don't on my iPad, so and this jute, I think this particular roll came right from the dollar store too. So you can make these wine bottle crafts. I mean, all total, the only thing I didn't really have on hand, I mean, I had the water bottle and the paint. You can make these pretty inexpensive, and they're like one of a kind. On occasion, I order most of my lights from the Wish app. I haven't ordered in over a year though on the lights. So I'm not sure if they still carry them, but they're usually like $1 a light. And I gotta say, I like the ones on Wish a lot more than even the ones that I can buy like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or occasionally the dollar store, because you could order them in all kinds of different colors. Okay, we're getting close to the top here. Okay, and so now we're at the back, and if you can see, obviously the wine bottle, see, okay, I was going to tell you with the glue. Then you just smooth it down, and it gives you more of a smooth finish with the jute, twine, wherever you're from and whatever you call it, twine, jute, whatever. Now, since we have to go up on the ridge, you're going to have to be a little more careful. So I usually place a little bit of hot glue so it doesn't roll on me in the wrong direction. Okay. Okay, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of glue and glue as I go. Okay. Maybe if my aliens gets its acting gear. If you go too fast, you're going to end up having gaps. So that this is one of those ones that you go, the slower you go, wrapping around those ridges, the better. Yeah, and I do like these projects because it's obviously reusing, right? Something that would have landed in a landfill or in a recycle bin which, I mean, obviously recycling's pretty good, but yeah, we don't want it, we want to keep as much as possible out of landfill. I've made them too where I've used like baker's twine instead of jute. You know, like if you wanted to make, I don't know, a spring one, you could totally use the colored baker's twine instead of this. Or you don't, you know, you don't necessarily have to do anything on the top of the bottle. Just for this theme, that's what I'm using. Make sure if you got ridges too that you're pushing it down in there and kind of, I have a pretty firm grip on this. And then usually at the very end, I have a glob of glue that I can move around here because this is like the last piece. And another reason I don't mind having a extra glue up there is because now we're going to finish it off. I don't have quite enough glue, so we're going to put quite a bit in there, and then we're going to smooth that edge down in there. And then we're going to kind of glue in the top there. There. Okay, so that portion's done. Okay. Let me get a wipe and wipe all this glue off. And these are really wet baby wipes. Ugh. Do you see all that? Ugh. I'm not even sure it's getting any of the glue off, just smearing it. All right. Okay. Set that out of the way. All right, now I'm thinking I don't think I'm going to put any of the cheesecloth on there on this one. I am going to put moss though. We do like the moss. And remember I told you there was like some fingerprints that like from the glue, and you can kind of tell it here, right? So those are the areas we're going to focus on kind of covering up. And I think I might go ahead and glue that little piece down there. And I think this one we might jazz up just a little bit and put some like flowers on. This is going to end here. I don't really like that piece. I think I said it before, but sorry if I get quiet, guys. Just focusing. now what we have, I have a whole big box of shells too. So, I will say though, if you're going to use shells, you're going to have to be kind of particular on the ones you use as far as being able to get them stuck down. Shells are not the easiest in the world to get stuck down. I have that bowl, so we'll work with that. So, and I think I was the one that painted these, but I'm not sure. Can't remember now. So I'm going to lay these out very similar to how we lay out the junk journal cover. I want to pull some, like now it doesn't really matter. I don't want to say sharp because they're not, these aren't glass. I mean, they've been cut down. But you want them kind of flattish, at least one part of them flattish, and you're not going to have to worry a ton about sharp edges as much as like with the and since these are really already like bottles, what I was thinking is they'll already kind of, I'm going to try to get the ones that have the curved shape because I think those will lay in really nicely, and then I can just start like layering up with them. So I think for now I'm not going to be talking a ton. I'm just going to be gluing and working. Okay, guys? You know how it gets when you're creating. Sometimes remembering to talk is an issue. And I bet you we're getting close to the 30-minute mark. I'm 100% sure the camera's not going to pick it up. But once the lights get in there, the green from the moss is showing through. Oh my goodness. I don't know if this one will ever make it to the Etsy store. Bo loves ocean stuff, and I'm betting that like he'll want this one. I'm betting that it doesn't even make it to the Etsy store. It's a good thing I have two, right? Okay, now I think we're just going to haphazardly kind of put that one in there. And this is what I was talking about with the shells. Like, there's just a fine edge you can put stuff on. So what I usually do is load it up with hot glue on the inside. And then hopefully it'll grab to something that's down in there. The E6000 will. But at least maybe the hot glue will grab some of the grass. Oh, and that's getting a little warm on the finger. Oh, and I guess I should say, I mean, you could probably totally use whatever you want, but I always use the hot glue sticks. I don't know. I don't know that I notice a huge difference between a lot of it, but that shell is warm. Yeah, and we're still waiting. It says it's at 95% processed, and it's been at 95 for like ever. I'm going to go in and find a little blue. Got some big green pieces. That one might work. pretty. Look how like blue-green that is. I think we'll put this blue one like right here. Oh, oh, there's another blue in there that I like. And I guess too, wine bottles are a lot like the journals in the fact that you can literally put anything on them. You can make them look any way you want. That's another reason why I like them. I'm going to add we need a green one in there. Oh, sorry guys, didn't mean to. And I was going to say, don't let that fool you. I'll add that white one there. The only reason that one's staying where it is because of the hot glue. Like I said, if you're not careful, all your stuff will slide. And the other reason I like the wine bottles is because, like, with journals, you know, you have to kind of keep the covers flat and everything flat. Well, not with wine bottles. You can totally make them dimensional, which is kind of what we're going for here. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple little pieces in there to kind of show you where we're going. And most of these are only going to have hot glue on them, because they're too tiny anyways. So I'll glue a couple of pieces in there and you'll see how we're going to kind of fill everything out. That one's a little too shiny, I think. I think in the beginning these things kind of look almost hodgepodge. Like they don't actually look like they're going anywhere or doing anything, you know? And then all of a sudden it goes from kind of like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden it's bam, it's done. So I think on the next video, what we'll do is kind of, I mean, it'll probably be the finish portion there. Oh, that didn't go as planned. Like I was saying, they kind of go from kind of done to like just done. Oh, now it's all stuck to me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and keep filling in these things. Just kind of playing around and get it to the next stage. Because that's probably going to be pretty boring for you to watch me just fill in all these little holes with all these little tiny guys. So, yeah, I'll just kind of keep filling in and just kind of see where it leads me to next. And then I'm going to show you how to put salt, Epsom salt, on these things so that it looks oceany. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just going to kind of play around and get these shells kind of lined out here. For that one, it's looking cute already. I'm liking it. And then I think once we add the salt, we will totally be in love with it. And I will probably go all the way around here with something too. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll figure it out. All right, guys, thanks for hanging with me with this one, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.